Hey again, my darlings. Right, now it's time for the melee role quests. People like to joke that Elita's a pirate like this. It's like, yeah, the outfit does look very pirate-like. Our man at Drazatsan told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Glad you could join us, Elita. If only I wish it were under better circumstances. The grave news from the bounty has not escaped our ears. I can scarce begin to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. Although you and the Scions have averted the final days, blasphemies continue to appear in certain regions. Wilbrant among them. Tell her what we know. A few days ago from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a creature unlike any native to our shores. While he had our suspicions, only later that a connection to the final days was confirmed by a most unlikely source, the Sahagin. We've been treating their tempers for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some factions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. It is one such faction that has provided the most comprehensive reports, in all their alarming detail. They speak of a most dreadful sight, the Spawn Brothers transforming into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incidents in Radzatan to be mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable of the beasts, a blasphemy as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. We may have been spared the final days, but so long as this abomination remains to harry us, we cannot truly say the storm has passed. Fortunately, there's been no sightings of the blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare our people the horror that befell Radzatan, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigative efforts, we remain very much in the dark as to the precise nature of the threat we face. Were we to recklessly dispatch large numbers of troops, we'd run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, Admiral Bolshwassin has decided to keep those involved to a minimum, and lead the investigation herself. And I would have you by my side. What say you? You have my thanks. We will depart at once to meet with our Sahagin allies, and gather what knowledge we can, that we might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive in South Tidegate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. The Admiral has arranged for a meeting to take place with our Sahagin collaborators at South Tidegate. Pray join her there as soon as you're able. It's well past our agreed-upon meeting time, but the Hagen are nowhere to be seen. They did not seem the sorts to break their word. This bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards, and search Halfstone for any sign of them.
What is this thing?
Noel is in danger. Quickly, to his aid. What are you waiting for? Go.
Many thanks, Shorewalker. Pray tell is my companion safe? Psst. The Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You too have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before those beasts return. Had the Admiral not come to our rescue when she did, I shudder to think what would have happened. Shh. Relieved I am to see the both of you safe.
Everyone still alive? Good. But not if we stay out here too long. Inside, quickly.
Shh. Thank you, my friends. Those ghastly beasts would have made short work of us had you not intervened. And yet, it brought me no joy to watch them die, for unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago, than our very own spawn brothers. At first, we thought them merely cursed, but our talismans of magic avail us not.
Aye, 'twas no curse. 'Twas an evil unlike no other. Innocent souls transformed against their will into unholy beasts called blasphemies.
Blasphemies? Pray, Tell us more.
That would be your area of expertise, Elita?
Psh, turned into beasts by the power of despair? This is horrifying indeed.
Thus far, the phenomenon here in La Nossa has been limited to the Sagan. Why is that?
Psh, I cannot say. Yet I wonder if the crushing tide are involved in some way.
I know this crushing tide.
Word of them has yet to reach you, I see. It all began when the Indigo Matriarch, queen of our kind, was stricken with a grave malady. Tragic as this was, there was one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers, and so deprived of her leadership, more of my kind came to see the wisdom in making peace with Limsa Maminsa. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They formed a group called the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the Whirl anew, and consign all finless ones into the briny deep. However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they can do naught but gnash their teeth in desperation.
And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations?
Just so. Those of our spawn brothers who turned into those beasts had been fraternizing with the Crushing Tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such a cruel fate. Yet we must be careful not to drive them to still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider the situation carefully, lest we bring destruction upon all our kind.
Tell me this, are the Crushing Tides even now under Leviathan's thrall? If freed from their drowned state, might they not listen to reason?
Were it so simple. But all but a few are long since cured. They walk this path of their own free will.
In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us, for this woman has bested many a formidable foe, including Leviathan.
Psh, the great Elita Draconia in the flesh? Honored am I to stand in your presence.
Together we will weather the storm, and usher in a new age of harmony. This I swear. There is much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we'll be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same.
Indeed we shall. Until such time, I watch over my spawn brothers and pray that no more succumb to the change.
The Admiral told me everything. Thank the Navigator that you were there to dispatch those terrible beasts. Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenge we face. It is a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with the Hagen to learn all we can. Once we have located the blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly the storm clouds have only begun to gather. The Secretariat has recent developments to share. Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just at this moment returned from a meeting with the Sahagin. I shall inform her of your arrival. Ah, Elita. I'm glad you're here. We have decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagin may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been afflicted with the crushing tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagin allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we shall share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we will pursue a dialogue with the crushing tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table, and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for their spawning grounds. 'Tis a discussion I intend to approach with an open mind. 'Twill be no easy task, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have faith that we will succeed with the Sahagin as well, so long as we parley in good faith. I can only hope the crushing tide share the sentiment. You're wise to temper your expectations, but I would not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, that one Tao, a priest who styles himself as a leader, agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sapsa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side, if you do not object, that is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tide Gate when you are ready. From there, we will go together. We welcome your aid in our negotiation for the crushing tide. Admiral Blosswetham awaits you at South Tide Gate. sure it could be waiting ahead. All prepared, are you? Tao is not known for his patience. We must take care not to incur his ire. I was told he would be at the spawning grounds upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Hagen here. Mayhap one of them will be able to shed light on what may be keeping him. One more thing. I come here as a representative of Limsa Lamunsa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talks deteriorate and thing come to blow, I cannot be seen to bloody my hands. I trust that you understand. And with that, let us be off. First, let us see if any of the Sahagin here possesses any knowledge of Dao's whereabouts. Look, I'm like half your height. I look like a child.
Why do you trespass in our domain, vile shore-whackers?
We mean you no harm. We come only for peaceful parley with your leader, Master Dao. Where might we find him?
Psh! We desire no parley with the shore-walkers who would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagin would grow and flourish.
Your grievances are justified. That is why I would speak with Master Dao and work toward a peaceful solution.
Psh! Empty words from the thieving shore-walker. But so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Dao is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find him by the entrance, though mark my words, you will wish you hadn't.
We shall see. I thank you for your aid.
You will find Speaker Dao at the spawning grounds. Seek him out if you like, but do not expect that he will listen to your empty promises. Psh! What is this? Since when are filthy shore-walkers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds?
Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with Speaker Dao. Where might we find him?
You will do no such thing, shore-walker. We have not forgotten what you did with Lord Leviathan. Begone.
We won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere.
Psh! Every moment you linger here sullies our sacred home, shore-walker. Begone from this place before I spear you through the throat.
Let us search the spawning grounds and see if we can't find this Dao.
Psh, Shorewalker is in our spawning grounds. To what do I owe the displeasure?
Speaker Dao, I presume? Our apologies for entering into your home unannounced. I am Merwib Bloswethlim, Chief Admiral of Limsa Laminsa, and this is Elita Draconia. We come seeking a parley, that we might strive for peace between our peoples.
Parley, you say?
Prolonging this conflict any further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our peoples face is great indeed. If ever there was time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at South Tidegate for formal negotiations.
Shorewalkers and Sahagin coming together? What assurance do I have that you will not slit our gills the moment we set foot within your territory?
I can offer naught but my word. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect.
I do not trust you, Shorewalker, but let it never be said that Tao of the Crushing Tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but attempt any treachery or subterfuge, and your people will drown in their own blood.
Very well, Master Tao. I look forward to productive discussion. Let us return then. I shall send word to Noel as well. I would have our Sahagin allies join us at the parley.
No, this is Shorewalker. I come not because your words sway me, but to show my spawn brothers that Tao of the Crushing Tide is no coward.
Thank you for joining us here, Master Tao.
Psh, the air here sickens me. Be brief.
Aye, let us get straight to the heart of the matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagin and Luminzin alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from the Leviathan's enthrallment. They and countless other Sahagin have joined us, of their own free will, that we may ensure the survival of both our peoples.
Psh, aye. By their deeds have the Laminsin proven themselves worthy of our trust.
Master Tao, you and your Crushing Tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you this. can only be done by confronting this threat together.
Psh, threats? Threats? What is this threat that you speak of?
If it is unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as serpent reavers. They are the only shore walkers I deign to call for our end. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World?
I do, and for that, and that alone, will ensure peace between us.
Preposterous! You propose not alliance, but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagin.
Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shore walkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan and espouses the lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our god and conspire to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We must not let this stand.
Pish! For shame! Forspoken by our spawn brothers, they side with the finless ones and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan.
They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children. Our future! Our future!
Pish! Behold this blessing! Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength.
You would call this a blessing?
Pish! Such hovers! Flee! Flee for your lives!
The beast makes for Aleport. I leave this place to you.
Psh, splendid! Splendid! Let all our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. I beg of you, friend Shorewalker, deliver my spawn brother from that horrific fate. This is the second time you've saved my life, Shorewalker. My gratitude is as boundless as the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid.
Yeah, she needs my aid.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Psh, what a horrific sight.
I was too late. I am sorry.
Shh. There's no need for apologies. You are not responsible for my people's plight. But what I cannot fathom is Dao's response. How pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts.
The fool believes it a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceful solution will be lost should Dao in his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us.
I shudder at the very thought. And yet the true threat to the blasphemy is still out there, yes?
Just so. The first ones to transform are those who have fallen into the deepest depths of despair. The more painful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in their bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others.
Psh, we can scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that there was more of my people could do to help.
I will have the Nostrum patrol the seas for the blasphemy, that we might slay it with all due haste. But this may well amount to naught. If the blasphemy too was born from a Sahagin, it could be sheltering in the depths, beyond the reach of our ships.
In that case, play around my Spawn Brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea.
Thank you, Nall. Though our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your brothers who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid to rest as they deserve.
Psh, you have my gratitude, Admiral.
And with that, we should return as well. There is much work to be done, and we would see it done quickly.
I must take my fallen brother home.
Oh, you've returned. The Admiral was just briefing me on the events at the spawning grounds. Ah, Elita. I was just sharing our findings. So, you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagin described. While Dao and his ilk have no means of forcefully triggering the phenomenon at present, 'tis plain they intend to seek one out. Redouble our patrols offshore and inform me at the first sight of anything out of the ordinary. It shall be done, Admiral. I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worse, I will recall our forces from Garlemald. Yet I would reserve that as the last resort. For now, I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon. The Secretary appears to have been waiting for you. The Admiral left a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that a Lominsan merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Omgoro. The Admiral suspects the Dao mean to use the plundered crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Nall, that we and our Sahagin allies might take swift action. She bids you join her immediately. Should the worst come to the worst, your experience in combating primals may prove essential. Pray make for South Tidegate and rendezvous with Admiral Bloswilson at once. Admiral Bloswilson awaits you at South Tidegate. Pray join her as soon as you're able.
It's good to see you safe, friend.
Thank you for coming, Elita. The situation is grim. The crushing tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodly stash of Ongoro crystals.
Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Thou longs for the days when every Sahagin cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the crushing tide are thinking. What satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god?
And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? Sounds like a job for the company of heroes. The Company of Heroes? Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. 'Tis true they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, there are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Aye, absent their leader, I suspect they'll be reluctant to join our cause. And yet I can think of no better option. I'll contact Wastelet, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. No, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime?
But of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know.
I will reach out to Whisklet, the former first mate of the company, and see if he is willing to meet us at the Drowning Wench.
Worry not. My spawn brothers and I will keep our eyes on the crushing tide in the meantime.
My apologies for the delay. So, your plea fell on deaf ears? And here I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. Could someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I am a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take that polearm out of your arse, old friend, and stop pretending you're not still a murderous bastard at heart. Watch that wicked tongue of yours, Uda, as I skewer it and prove you right. Shh! Nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of Winch's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right? Sugar, long time no eye catch. A Planter's Reflux is tummy tickled to see gubby friends again. Thank you for assembling on such short notice. Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral. Why are we here? I make a simple request. Reform the company of heroes and lend limbs and lumens of your strength. You've a reason, I'm sure. I would hear it. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming the Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, have declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we'd be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal, while still dealing with the other threats. A right pickle indeed! But the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and as his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order. Sod that, I say. Have you forgotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago? The commander would not have turned his back on him, and neither should we. Bold words, Landau, but do you truly believe that we can honour them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking the commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time. Ah, yes, your commander. What if Elita were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question her abilities. An intriguing proposition. I for one would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero.
Please, and Gubby friend has goodly head for fighty think, and goodly arms for thinky fight.
As ringing an endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the woman herself. Do you believe you're capable of leading the company of heroes into battle? If you've the stones to follow me. Now that's the confidence I expect from my commander. Very well then, consider us yours to lead. Heh, 5 years to the day. Truth be told, I was enjoying the more leisurely life. But when duty calls... Wait, before we proceed, I must ask, have we no way of reaching out to the commander? Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Up and vanishing so we could each find our own way. Apart from him and the company, I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish I could. To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you are to aid us tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you must prevent the crushing tide from summoning Leviathan at all costs. Oh, is that all? And here I thought we might get our feet wet with some real challenge, eh? But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends to what. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure she'll give it all due consideration. Whiskey Lake may be skeptical, but I for one have little doubt you will prove a worthy commander for the company of heroes.
Reflux happily gives a hand lending to Uplander.
The others may gripe and groan, but not me. I'll be the first to admit that I missed the action. Please think twice before assigning me the same group as Landau. I don't know what's worse, his tendency to wave the lance in people's faces, or all the shouting and blustering he engages in while doing so. Have we finished with all the logistical nonsense? I'm eager for a taste of old violence. You know the flavour. So, if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. We've also got to prevent the crushing tide from summoning their god, Leviathan, a tall order in and of itself. As acting commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what based on the skills we have to offer. I'd recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. My speciality, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my talents on dealing with those slippery fishmen. Set me against that so-called blasphemy, and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Merle and Bluswhistlin. Pursuing and slaying the blasphemy. A wise choice. Send Landel after the Sahagin, and he's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust. I will speak in plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landel. As Noon of the Ua, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser is it to observe from afar and proceed with caution. Preventing the primal summoning. Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect Udo Nudo. As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like. You've a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle. Shamani has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved.
Reflux Master Remaker of Illuminati treasures offers much hand-lending with ingenuity. Farseeing spyglass sees far into the ocean deep. Crackfires go boom and blast beasts to itty-bitty pieces. Pursuing and slaying the blasphemy.
A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Bayflock's mastery of tools and armaments are sure to avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments. And I dare say the choices you've made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I'd think you'd be leading us for years. And with that, it's time we got to work. I have procured link pearls for one and all, that we can keep each other appraised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. We'd best be off then. Should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy, call for us. I will return to command and share these developments here with the Secretariat and our Sahagin friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Elita. I have just finished briefing the Secretary. She has something you should find useful. Admiral Blossweston has tasked me with overseeing communications between you and the Company of Heroes. First you'll need a link pearl. Pray speak with the Secretary. Ah, Elita. The Admiral has apprised me of the situation in full. Furnish Elita with a link pearl, yes? Of course, Admiral. It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Oh there, Commander. Just give the word and I'll come running. Lower your goddamn voice, would you? Watch your tongue, or I'll track you down and rip yours out. They sound more like mortal enemies than those companions. That's where Elita comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I would convey them to the entire company as by link pearl, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Null and see what he's gleaned about the crushing tide and their hideout. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. I've been tasked with facilitating link pearl communication among the Company of Heroes, that you and your men might focus on the task at hand. The Secretariat has urgent news for you. Grave news, Elita. We've just received word that Candlekeep Quay is under attack. It would seem the crushing tide has struck again. The Admiral asks that you deploy the Company of Heroes at once. Our man here will act as your signaller. Our communications officer will assist with relaying your orders. The Company of Heroes is awaiting your orders. Candlekeep Quay? Both Landel and Udnu should be close by. What are your instructions? Drive the crushing tide away. Consider it done, Commander. See the residents of Candlekeep Quay to safety. Understood. The rest of us will head there at once. I'll tell the Admiral you and the Company of Heroes are on your way. Godspeed. To think I'd live to see the famed Company of Heroes not only reform but fight at our side. You have orders from the Admiral to make for Candlekeep Key and provide support for the company as needed. Good to know my colleagues haven't grown rusty in the years since we disbanded.
Fish, shoop, and Reflux's treasures go boom, blast fishermen to bitty bits.
Is that all? And just as I was getting warmed up. You kept us waiting long enough, Commander. Not that I'm complaining. More fishmen for me to skewer. Worry not, the tide has already ebbed, if you follow my meaning. Perhaps you're curious how your men carried out your orders. You'll be pleased to hear that Landell led the attack with his characteristic aplomb, dancing among his foes with such speed and ferocity that were dizzying to watch. Udo Nunn made full use of his talents leading the rescue effort. Not a single man, woman or child suffered so much as a scratch. I had my doubts at first, but you've passed your first trial as acting captain with flying colours. The battle is over, I see. 'Tis good to see the company of heroes can still live up to its name. I demand answers. Why did you target Candlekeep Key?
Pish, I spit on your questions, filthy shorewalker.
I was hoping we might do this the easy way, but if you insist...
Pish, so you would torture us? You shorewalkers are all the same. Savage brutes, the lot of you.
Torture? Please, we are not so uncivilized as that, my slippery friend.
Pish, shuck. Reflux's shiny treasure will have fishmen trading tongue flaps in no time.
Allow me to explain. Shamani Lumani and Vreflox are well practiced in the art of interrogation. Shamani has a sharp mind, as I'm sure you've noticed, and a knack for getting information out of uncooperative types with minimum of fuss. Vreflox, on the other hand, her methods can be unconventional, to say the least, but it's hard to argue with the results. Well, Commander, the choice is yours to make. Shamani Lamani's my man. But of course, Commander. Watch as I get him talking without so much as lifting a finger. They tell me your kind are particularly fond of Linosian origins. Might I interest you in a glass of delightful orange wine brewed from our latest harvest?
This is... Another glass, Shorewalker. I demand it, in return for the crimes you have committed against my spawn brothers.
A mere glass, my friend? Why, I'd be more than happy to offer you a full bottle, nay, an entire cask, if you provide us with the answers we seek.
We have a deal, Shorewalker. For a cask of that blissful beverage, I will tell you all my secrets.
Again, I ask, why did you target Candlekeep Key?
Thou himself gave the order, said we must establish a foothold in preparation for our assault on the city.
He means to attack Limsa Limenza itself. But with your numbers, that would be folly.
Speaker Dow commands power beyond the comprehension of you Shorewalkers.
We have dealt with Leviathan before.
You misunderstand. Speaker Dow says it is a greater power still, the very first being blessed by our Lord.
The blasphemy. Tell me where Dow is.
An island far to the south and east. There he performs a rite that will summon forth the Divine One and deliver my brothers and I to glory.
Thank you for your cooperation. I suspect that Dow is hiding out somewhere in the Kieldils, a deserted isle most likely. I don't know much about these so-called blasphemies, but can they truly be tamed so easily? We have no evidence they can, but we must operate under the assumption that Dow has found a way. I will ready a ship. We set sail for the Theodils at once. Prepare yourselves and meet me at the docks as soon as you're ready. I'll have Shimani and Bravefox continue the interrogation in the meantime. Our friends here might still be hiding something from us. Don't you worry, Bravefox and I have the situation under control.
Sure, Bravefox, keep watch on this place.
What's that? This is the enemy's stronghold. Never forget that they have the advantage. I don't know a blasphemy from a hole in the ground. All I know is that I'm ready to kill the bleeding thing. Let's see how this blasphemy likes it, my axe in between its eyes. Everyone is here? Good. We make for the Citadels in search of Dow's hideout. Our friend Noel will be waiting for us there. The blasphemy too may be present. Be vigilant and keep your weapons at the ready. Well, Commander? Do you have any words for your men on the eve of battle? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. We meet again, Dow. Where is the blasphemy? Tell us now so we may end this madness. So cool. Speak of the bloody devil.
Phew, there it is, the dread beast I saw beneath the waves.
The source of our woes. The echo of all the times. Defend the commander.
I bring grave tidings, my queen. The wretched shorewalkers poison the minds of my Sprung brothers with false words and foul magics. Our poor beguiled brethren renounce Lord Leviathan and name him a false god. They treat with Limsa Laminsa, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that the lost might receive of his blessing anew. This I would gladly do, had our stock of crystals not run dry.
Spawning time is nearly upon us, yet you fight and bicker amongst yourselves. How am I to birth a new brood, when my children grown stand divided?
Who dares enter the sacred chamber? Forgive my intrusion, Queen Mother. I speak for the Sahagin who seek an accord with the shore walkers. A new age is upon us. We needn't turn to false gods, nor foment bitterness and bloodshed in our precious spawning grounds. The shore walkers have changed. They endeavour to understand us, to share these lands with us, that they may have peace, and we have our spawning grounds.
Could this be true?
Lies! Lies! Do not be deceived by that one's delusions, my queen. He is a heathen who has strayed from Lord Leviathan's light.
The shore workers are oath breakers, now and forevermore. As they extend one hand in friendship, they clutch a dagger in the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving of naught but slaughter. Oh, for a blessed moment I felt the faintest touch of hope. But you are right, Tao. They are demons, and we are damned. Oh, for woe! My poor children have lost their faith, their minds poisoned by lies. They turn away from the Lord of the world, and cast their lot with the enemy. 'Tis so, my queen, 'tis so. We will have no choice but to abandon our sacred spawning grounds, and sink to the ocean's floor to rot and decay. Thou, dearest of my children, you tell them that you tell them that we have no future? How can I bring new life into this world, knowing that my brood will have their hearts stolen and beaten? I cannot. Psh, what's happening? Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. Ah! Such power, such beauty, a blessing from Lord Leviathan himself. So this is a blasphemy, eh? I can see what all the fuss is about. Have your wits about you? Good. If you can fight, now is the time. Shh! Strike now, my queen! Send the shore walkers and their honourless leader to their death. What's happening? I can't feel my legs. Why, Mother? Are we not your children too? Damn it, we cannot weather another blow like the last. I still don't know what the Seven Hells just happened, but I'll be damned if I'm just going to go down without a fight. Steady! The beast is feeding on our ether. We will not survive a head-on fight. Lando, Udo, remember the company's stratagem when faced with overwhelming odds? Retreat, retreat. Let's get ourselves the bloody hells out of here. Hello, Commander.
Psh, were the other beasts we faced also like my spawn brothers? I cannot bear the thought.
So that was the blasphemy. Intriguing creature. For the first time in many summers, we find ourselves with a worthy foe. Face to face with a damned beast, and I could barely lift my spear. Next time, mark my words, that bastard fish is gonna pay. When no path of victory can be found, flee and fight another day. It might not be the kind of approach that make a bard sing your praises, but it's kept us alive, and that's enough. Damn it all. We'd have better luck holding back the tide. How goes it, friends? It's what I would normally ask, but judging by the muttered cursing, I gather it did not go all that well. We barely escaped with our lives. To think the damned beast had the power to stop us in our tracks. Literally. What do we know of the creature's origins? Was it once a Sahagin as you suspected? Mayhap the echo afforded Elita some insight.
Psh, thou's villainy knows no bounds. Sowing seed of despair on her queen mother's heart, that she might transform into that monstrosity.
If she was the first to turn, then there was nothing deliberate about it. Still, it's clear that his words served as a catalyst. If we kill the blasphemy, it'll be tantamount to killing this Hagen's queen. That's not going to endear us to them one bit.
Psh, I cannot turn my spear against the mother who birthed me, let alone take her life.
Out of curiosity, did anyone see who fired that shot? Were it not for them, we'd all be dead. I know not, but we must formulate a plan, and quickly. My scouts tell me that the blasphemy has left the island, and now roams the open sea. I will order them to continue the search in the meantime. We must find a means to overcome the beast's formidable offense. Leave that to us. Time and again we've used our wits and experience to triumph over the longest odds. To defeat your enemy, first you must know your enemy. Tell me, Commander, what do you reckon was the most valuable knowledge we gleaned from our initial encounter? That the blasphemy has the power to absorb ether. I concur. Now that we know how the beast disables its foes, we can use this knowledge to devise a proper defense against it. But that is not all we have learned. While the blasphemy can maneuver through the water, it also frequents caves and the likes. Our best chance of defeating it would be in such a place. Our only chance, I dare say. I will send scouts to identify any and all large caverns and coastal areas that could serve as a shelter for a massive creature. To ensure the safety of our people and to have any hope for peace with the Sahagin, this is a battle we must win. All your strength and wisdom will be needed in the days to come. Dismissed. Come, let us share our findings with the Maelstrom. If even the famed company of heroes couldn't bring it down, this so-called blasphemy must be a formidable beast indeed. The Admiral told me of your encounter with the blasphemy. The result may not have been ideal, but I am heartened to see you return safely. Now that we have seen what the blasphemy is capable of ourselves, 'tis more plain to me more than ever that it must be slain. Reach out to all trade ships entering and departing Limsa. Inform them that any sightings of the blasphemy are to be reported to Maelstrom Command at once. Understood, but given the beast's abilities, how do you intend to overcome it? I trust the company of heroes and Elita, experienced primal slayers all, will find a way. And yet, I would leave no resource untapped. There is one more whose expertise I would call upon, if he would agree. Even Whiskelet is at a loss to his former commander's whereabouts, but perhaps Einzer could offer some guidance. No doubt you are still fatigued from the battle with the blasphemy. Pray rest while you are able. When we are ready to take further action, you will hear from me. Till then, take care. The Secretary's resigned expression speaks volumes. Ah, Elita. I wish I had better news for you, but the blasphemy continues to elude us. Can you hear me, Commander? This is Whiskelet. I have an idea how we might take down the blasphemy. Meet me in Costa del Sol as soon as you're able. Well, that sounds promising. I'll tell Admiral that you'll be away for a bit. Godspeed and stay safe out there. Unfortunately, the blasphemy continues to elude us. Should there be any change, we will inform you post-haste. Apologies for having you come all this way, Elita. Ever since our encounter with the blasphemy, I've been racking my brain to find a way of dealing with its debilitating attack. Sadly, I've come up empty-handed, and my companions fear no better. That's when I started thinking. If only our finest was still with us. He always had a knack of noticing what the rest of us missed. His eyes were so sharp, he could spot a foe's weakness with a single glance. It's thanks to him we were able to slay both Leviathan and Titan, and live to tell the tale. The rub is, well, he's a bit eccentric. And yes, I know you could say that about all the company members. But unlike us, he prefers to work from the shadows. Truth be told, I've not seen him since the day we disbanded. I doubt he'd help his old comrades, even if we asked, but an order from the company's acting commander would be a different story. In our heyday, we had a way of reaching him. Whistle at the forked road and sooner or later he'd show himself. Didn't matter when, winter or summer, in broad daylight or in the dead of night, he'd always be watching from afar. With any luck, he still is now. But I've rambled on enough. Go on now, this may be our best and only hope. Remember the signal, whistle at the forked road, and let's just hope our man deigns to show. Here I was enjoying my retirement. Why'd you have to go and bloody whistle? Call me Lawrence. I'm the company's resident sharpshooter. At least I was in my day. No need to tell me who you are. I've been watching you for quite some time. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just curious how my former mates are faring. Not as curious as folks were about me, though. First Whiskelette, then old Miss Beard himself. Huh. As if those old codgers could ever catch me. And now Eorzea's storied hero summons me forth. No need to say why. You're going to ask me to help you take down the blasphemy. Have you forgotten the duty of the strong? Heh. Never could refuse whenever someone trotted out those hackneyed words. So tell me, Acting Commander, what specific duty would you task me with? I trust you do have a plan. So you need a way to neutralize the beast's most potent attack. I can tell you like getting up close and personal with your folks, so you'll be needing support from a distance. Who do you suppose might be best suited to that role? Merlweb and her twin muskets can handle the job. A reasonable answer, but wrong. In pure marksmanship, none in Limsa are the Admiral's equal. Yet Merlweb is ill-suited for a supporting role. Not for lack of skill, of course, but rather, come to think of it, there's something you should know. Follow me. Quite the view, wouldn't you say? I often come here to admire the sea. If you would, indulge me for a moment, and I'll spin ye a yarn. Just try not to doze off. Back in piracy's golden age, the League of Lost Bastards ruled the Draconia. I was one of them, as was Merlwib, who were led by none other than her old man, Blofus Blofwusson, the most feared captain of the high seas. Feared by his enemies, that is. Stern and unforgiving though he was, he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. Aye, he was like a father to me, to us all, till that fateful day. Was in the year 1562 of the Sixth Astral Era. Lemons merchantmen were struggling with nigh constant raids by the Sahagin. Round this time, Blofus had yielded the day-to-day leadership of the bastards to Merlwib, his pride and joy. She was still growing into the role though, and everyone knew the old captain was still calling the shots. Old Blofus had a noble streak, he did, order us to defend the traders from the fishbacks. Merlwib had led the effort, and we fought day after day to keep the seas safe. The fighting was fierce, but we always came out of it in one piece. Until we didn't. After a skirmish, a Sahagin survivor with his last breath summoned forth the Lord of the Whirl. The great beast toppled our masts and cracked the keel like an egg. We clambered aboard the merchantman as our own ship sank. Naught to do but wait for the end. Then comes Blofus and his bleeding flotilla out of nowhere to pull us out of the fire. And he did. But the League of Lost Bastards would never be the same again. For even though we'd escaped with our lives, we soon discovered that Captain Blofus, our non-willed, unwavering leader, had fallen under Leviathan's thrall. Of course, in those days, we didn't know much about drowning or tempering. Didn't know what to make of our captain as he grew more haggard by the day, his words devolving into crazed rambling. Then one day he vanishes, taken off with half our men. Not long after, a band of pirates calling themselves the Serpent Reavers began taking prizes in the Indigo Deep alongside the Sahagin. At their helm was none other than Captain Blofus, who had cast his lot in with the fishbacks. Merlwib knew what had to be done, and to her credit she didn't shirk from the deed. She acted quickly, sneaking off under cover of night with a skeleton crew without so much as telling me. Of course that didn't stop me from stowing myself in the cargo hold and joining her on a voyage. She was none too happy to see me at first, wanting to leave me out of it, she said, but seeing as I made myself known when she was struggling to fend off a horde of weavers and fishbacks, it wasn't hard to win her over. Her twin muskets fell in one after the next, as my sharp shooting kept her safe from afar. We cut a path to the centre of the isle. It was there we found Blofus, or rather the miserable wretch had been reduced to. All bones, with his skin shriveled and a tangled mat of white hair, eyes bulging from his head, like a fish as he prayed to the Lord of the Whirl. Merlwib challenged him to a duel, and a dim memory must have flickered in his drowned mind, for he accepted. And so, with only me there to witness it, Merlwib ended her father's life. The League of Lost Bastards would have lived up to its name if it weren't for Merlwib. She assumed full command and restored us to our former glory. Not long after, she triumphed in the Trident and was named Chief Admiral of Limsa Luminsa. I often think back to that day, seeing her charge into battle, muskets blazing. Might seem like reckless to some, but that's how Captain Blowfist taught her. And she knows no other way. That's why I made it my job to support her from the shadows, and it's a role in which I'll happily serve again. I owe that much to our old man. My only doubt was whether you, my friend, were worthy of commanding me, but watching you from afar has answered that question. Aye, tell Whiskerlet and the rest of my no-good companions that Lawrence stands with them. Did Lawrence show himself? Haha, now there's a surprise. I had some hope your words might reach him, but never did I imagine he would agree so readily. Just one thing, Elita. I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention Lauren's involvement to the company. Landenel in particular. They'll find out soon enough regardless. At any rate, this gives us new hope in our battle against the blasphemy. All that remains is to set the snare and lure the beast into our clutches. Our scouts are on the lookout for the creature as we speak. If the latest reports are to be believed, we are drawing ever closer. And with that, I'd best get back to it. Can I trust you to report these latest developments to the Maelstrom? Then till we meet again, Commander. The Admiral should be pleased to hear that Lawrence will be joining their fight. Whatever Whiskerlet is planning, one can only hope it works. The search for the blasphemy continues, though I understand you've been carrying out an entirely different investigation. A marksman by the names of Lawrence, eh? The Admiral will be pleased. Of course, we won't have much call for his skills until the blasphemy is found. Rest well and prepare yourself as necessary in the meantime. Lawrence? Why does that ring a bell? I have to remember how to. Ah, there we go. Now I can see them at the bottom right instead of the bottom left. Right. Just occasional instant damage. Dash forward, dash backwards. And now remember how to play Reaper again. The Secretariat appears visibly dismayed. Despite our best efforts, the blasphemy continues to elude us. For the time being we... Sorry to interrupt, but I have an incoming communication from Whiskelet. Commander, we've snared ourselves a blasphemy. We've our erstwhile companion Riol to thank. Knowing that the creature was once a Sahagan queen, he kept a close eye on the spawning grounds. Sure enough, he spied a massive black shadow moving beneath the water, not long ago. After receiving word, Shamini Lomani directed the Maelstrom warships in the vicinity to herd the beast with cannon fire into the Tasha Sea Grot. Isolated as a sea grot is, we can engage it in our foe without putting the small folk at risk. Any words for your men, Commander? Company of heroes, assemble! You don't have to tell me twice. I've been aching for a rematch. Rush in blindly, and it will go as poorly for you as it did the first time. Ha! Knowing you, I'm sure you'll show up just in time to see me deal the killing blow. Now, can we not save our vitriol for the quarry that we've lured to the perfect spot, and is now waiting patiently for all of you to put it out of its misery? Just and Bray Fox's gobby booms and blast over big blasphemy into bitty pieces. A motley or crew you'll never find, but will serve you well when the battle is joined. Believe you me. This is Marweb. I will ready a warship at once. Assemble outside the wench once you've all seen to your preparations. So, the time has come. I shall pray for your victory. That's it, I finally remembered where I heard the name Rollins before. As I recall, he had quite the reputation in Limbs a few years ago, for all the wrong reasons. Admiral Boswesson awaits you at the Drowning Wench. Godspeed. Ah, Elita. The others should be along soon. The blasphemy is still contained in this attached sea grot. There it will meet its end. Navigator willing? Would that my brothers and I could join you in the fight, and yet, blasphemous though it may be, the beast was once our mother. I understand, no. Forgive us for what we must do. Were there a means to reverse the transformation, we would do it all in our power to bring your mother back. Sadly, there is nothing left of her to save. For the future of the Sahagan, and limbs of Laminta alike, the blasphemy must be laid to rest. And when the deed is done, I will bring your brothers, even the crushing tide, aboard the great ship we call Vilbrand. I do not want to slay your mother, but this thing she has become, a mindless beast who would enslave and kill her own, is an affront to the memory of who she was. It is not her. It is not. Remember this always. You must. I will not ask you to shoulder the burden of matricide. When the time comes to strike the final blow, I will do the deed. Shh, Admiral, all you say is true, and yet... Commander, I've sighted a group of fishbacks. Crushing tide most like. Heading straight to the sea grot. You best make your way here, and fast. Time to move out then. Any words for your men before we set sail? Don't go dying on me out there. Heh. Our new commander sounded more and more like the old one. But enough talk. It's time we show the realm that the company of heroes hasn't lost a step. Aye. We'll stand a better chance of slipping past the crushing tide if we split up. Elita and I will go together, while the rest of you take a different route. Let us brook no further delay. To Satasha!
My queen, I beg of you, show your loyal son mercy.
It's Tao, or what's left of him.
Speaker Tao? Why would a queen do such a thing? It's as the shore walkers say, what we thought was a blessing is in truth a terrible curse. The horror! We must away at once. And leave the shore walkers to face our queen mother alone? No, I will stand with them.
You mustn't sully your hands with the blood of your mother. Go and be with your kin. Go!
Forgive me?
I was beginning to think you wandered off a cliff, Lawrence. Must you say it like that? I prefer to think of myself as fashionably late. But enough talk, it comes. And here it comes. We're counting on you, Lawrence. Aye, no enemy's weakness escapes my eye. Just one shot here and... Aye, there we go. See how easy that was? I reckon you can do it too, Acting Commander. And protect the front back. Fish, they've got to Alfie. So they've either to go blasting this island. We better work fast.
But we stand with you. And follow the shore walkers, we protect our sea. As do we, for the future of Indigo Deep.
I will not ask your forgiveness, but this I promise, you will be remembered for the mother you were.
Fish, Admiral, I have no words. Our Queen Mother returns to the depths in eternal slumber. With your strength, you could have crushed us easily. Why did you spare our lives?
The beasts and blasphemies are born from the despair in our hearts, but no more. I would break the cycle. Though Tao may have been blind to it, I believe in a future where Sahagin and Lominson live in harmony. Even after losing who she was, your queen made for your spawning grounds, and it is there she drew her last breath. When your next queen is crowned, know that she will have a safe place to raise her young. Once you selected a suitable location, Limsa Luminsa will recognize and honor your claim.
A promise for which we are grateful, Admiral, but what of other peoples of Vilbrand?
The kobolds are open to the idea. The details will need to be negotiated, but I am confident we can reach an agreement. Sahagin, Kobold, and Lominson alike yearn to abide in peace. We can make it so.
Psh, I have never fought alongside shorewalkers before, but I must say, it felt good. We have fought our neighbors for generations. It has won us only suffering and tragedy. I beg of you, lay down your spears. Fish.
It will take time and effort to bridge the gulf between our peoples, but bridge it we shall. What are you up to? I dare say we have a lot of talking to do as well, don't we, Commander Lawrence? Ah, Landau, if you'd just allow me to explain. Let's be off before they drag us into this mess.
Fish, why did we ever believe that monstrosity was a blessing? What fools we were! Fish, forgive us for what we have done, Queen Mother.
At last it's over. We can take pride in the respite we've won, but we must never forget those who could not be here with us to enjoy it.
Fish, crush, and fighting with cubby friends gives Grey Fox good feels.
Wondering where I was during the battle? Well, I wasn't slacking off if that's what you're implying. My duty was to protect the ship, to ensure a safe return. Truly. I dare say that blasphemy was the most formidable foe our company has ever faced. I must further hone my skills lest the next enemy prove too tough for us to handle. Who invited this bloody bastard anyway? Oh there! Good to see our acting commander hale and hearty. Perfect timing, acting commander. You must save me from this bloodthirsty bastard. Well, Lawrence, let's hear your excuse, and it'd better be a good one. Why in the seven hells were you skulking around in the shadows while we did all the dirty work? Like you'd not be any happier if I showed up myself sooner. I can hear you whinging now. What, you didn't think we could all handle this on our own? Aye, I'd be bloody furious regardless. Don't think I have forgotten what happened, or rather didn't happen, on the day of our duel. Even though the future of the company hung in the balance, I waited and waited, and waited some goddamn more, and still you never turned up. But I've got you now, and I will have satisfaction. Given Lawrence's penchant for late arrivals, I couldn't help but worry too. To say he cut it fine would be an understatement. And not by choice as usual. My scouts observed him roaming near Costa del Sol not long ago. It would seem our commander's woeful sense of direction has not improved in the least. I'm honestly surprised you never realized, Landau, that was to blame for his extreme tardiness. But the commander did indeed arrive at the agreed location for your duel, after the sun had risen and set half a dozen times. Navigator, take me, Shamani. You promised that you would stay between the two of us. Ah, brave flocks. You have a kind word or two for your commander, don't you?
Commander Lawrence, Commander no more. New commander, friend to gobbies everywhere. Does many sweat works for gobby kind.
Heh, And there I thought you were too much of a coward to face me in battle. Come now, Landel, you know me better than... Then it's settled. We fight here and now. On your guard. Put that thing down, I say. You could hurt someone with that. Hard to believe he was once the glue that held this merry band together. That's right. If you hadn't realised the obvious, Lawrence is our former commander. Forgive me for not stating it plainly sooner. I didn't want you to think we doubted your leadership. He's got his quirks, but as you saw, he's a force of nature on the battlefield. Anyhow, I think we can all say that your stint as acting commander has been a rousing success. Now, I reckon it's about time you gave your final order.
Company of heroes, band break once more. Blairfox never liked parting with gobby friends.
Here, here. I may have my complaints, but when we're together a good fight's never far away. You hardly need a company or commander to get you that. And should Limsa be imperiled, there's nothing stopping us from rising to the occasion. Till then, you're all strong enough in your own right. Why not serve the weak in your own ways? At last it's over. Oh yeah, you said the same thing as you said before. It's time for you to do what I once did. Give your men their final orders and send them on their way.
Psh, Shug, Blairfox wants busy work. Blairfox awaits Uplander's lip flaps.
No more cheese wars, please.
Sure. Blairfox feels heavy heart, but accept Uplander's bossy words. Blairfox had good times and happy feels with gobby friends, but good times will come again, and when they do, new boomsticks will bring blasty doom with much fastness. Well, let's hear it, Commander.
You owe me a bottle of your finest Bacchus.
Indeed, indeed. I mean to return to Wineport as soon as I've tied up a few final loose ends here. Speaking of wine, I always prefer the older vintages, left to steep in their barrels for many a summer. They come out tasting better than ever. One might say the same about our own company.
I await your orders, Commander. Look after the ooh, brave Noon. Aye, I have responsibilities. A tribe that wants for my guidance and protection. I can ill afford to tarry here much longer. Nevertheless, it was with some regret that I take my leave. For all their faults, of which they have many, they are my companions, and I will miss them. Well, if you have something to say, let's hear it. Return to the whalers and keep the murdering to a minimum. Ha! As if I needed you to tell me. While I enjoyed the diversion, I know as well as any that my true place is in Gudania, leading a respectable life. You may not have been the perfect commander, but 12 is my witness. I hope to fight by your side again. Farewell. You've had quite the turn of duty, but all good things must come to an end. Any parting words before we go our separate ways? Give Gegariju my best regards. Ha! Finally I can enjoy some semblance of peace again. At least as much peace as a man can enjoy waiting hand and foot for the Lord of Costa del Sol. It may have been rough sailing at times, but I rather enjoyed serving under you, acting Commander Elita. And on that note, I ought to be on my way. Slipping away again, are we? You are a creature of habit. I resented you for it at the time, you know. But I think I understand now. Better to shun fame and not serve as an example for glory seekers too eager to fight and too quick to die. You're overthinking it. I'm a creature of whimsy, a man who lets the tailwind carry him where it will. But more importantly, this new age belongs to the new blood. I've had my day in the sun. If you succeed in brokering peace with the beastmen, there'll be no need to worry about the primals, and the company can go into permanent retirement. And then I can say I did right by the old man. If you hadn't been there for us both, I don't know if I could have pulled the trigger. Thank you, Lawrence, brother. Bah, I did nothing. It was you who shouldered Captain Bluff's burden, and that of the entire League. I'm sorry, Maroleb. I know it hasn't been easy for you. But I dare say you've worked hard enough. Maybe us company folk aren't the only ones in need of a retirement. Ah, but I've said too much. Lawrence holding his tongue? God, you have changed. But yes, my greatest test as Admiral still lies ahead, as we steer the great ship Vilbrand towards a new future. Heh, you truly are your father's daughter. I owe you my thanks too. Dare say you did almost as good a job keeping my men to task as I could have done. Call it a hunch, but something tells me our paths may cross again. But forgive me if I carry on like I've never seen you before. Not unlike my old friend Miss Beard. I prefer to keep my past in the past. And with that, I'm off. Take care of yourselves. At last it's over. Oh, yeah, you've said the same thing before. Yeah, same as you.
The blasphemy is no more, but we will never know lasting peace until the crushing tide agrees to lay down their arms. It will be a daunting task,
but as we saw in Zatasha, they are not beyond reason. I will do all in my power to see that your efforts and the sacrifices of my brothers were not in vain.
Pish! Forgive us, even after being freed from false god's thrall, still we clung to our hateful beliefs. It was easier to hearken speakers' doubts every word and turn a blind eye to the harsh truth. Easier and cowardly. I will return and speak with my brothers of the crushing tide. I will tell them of our Queen Mother's sacrifice and the vision of hope you have shared with us. I ask only that you give us time and trust us to make our own decision. You have my word. If you would not be so averse, let us return to the spawning grounds together. Adventurer, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. I will repay you the only way I know how, by doing my part to usher in an age where Shorewalker and Shahagan stand as one.
Just us now, it would seem. Ever since we achieved a measure of peace with the kobolds, I prayed this day would come. Though it is of course only a beginning to bruised egos, but such things are meaningful progress. The history of Vilbrand is one of bloodshed, but we have the power to change our ways. After all, it is clear we are united by more than our similarities than we are divided by our differences. I will share what I have seen of the Hasagan with my fellow Laminsons and listen closely to their doubts and concerns. For it must be a harmony not foisted upon them from above, but one which they aspire to of their own free will. No doubt Noll and his brothers feel the same. Again you have come to Limsa's aid, my aid, at a time we needed it most. When we next meet, I hope 'twill not be as admiral and adventurer, but as friends, mayhap trading war stories over ales at the Wench. But for now, I must return to my duties. Drafting reports and decrees is hardly the most exciting part of my role, but it is a necessary one. If you happen to pass through Rezzet's hand, pray share your exploits with our delegate there. Doubtless he will be interested to hear your first-hand account. One day I will lay down these muskets of mine for good. But not yet, Father, not yet. Elita, you return. Pray tell, what news from my homeland? Extraordinary, and a chance at peace with Hagen. These are heartening tidings indeed. Without a doubt you have helped dispel the pall of despair that once hung over all Vilbrand. Our people now bask in newfound hope. I must share the news with the others. Full glad they will be to hear the threat to Limsa Lominsa is no more. Thank you again, my friend. To think the notorious commander of the Company of Heroes would show his face after all these years. Right, the only thing left is to cast our wand, but it is getting late, so I am going to have to head off. Thank you all for watching. It's been wonderful going through these little adventures with you all. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and bye for now.